There we go.
Howdy there, folks, and welcome to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Stephen Bresnaugh, and today we're going to be comparing the Howa HS Precision in 300 PRC to the Bergara Wilderness Ridge in 300 PRC. The Bergara is an aftermarket Wuchs Furiosa chassis, but I am going to be comparing it against in the range footage and against the stock that's original here, so don't be concerned about that. Let's first take a look at the Howa HS Precision. Comes with a HS Precision fiberglass Kevlar fiber reinforced stock, so excellent quality fiberglass stock. Has about a 1-inch heavy-duty recoil pad back here that's rubber. Sling swivel stud. Pretty traditional comb on this. A little bit fatter than traditional palm swell here, but still staying true with most hunting stocks. Has a all-metal bottom metal with a floor plate. Capacity on this 300 PRC is 3+1. Does open. Has a hacked 2-stage trigger. It's not really user adjustable. Comes at about 2.5 to 3.5 pounds from the factory. Breaks crisp and clean. Has a little bit of over travel though. Then coming forward, you have a 90-degree bolt throw. Relatively traditional bolt handle. Little push button bolt release on the left side there. 2 locking lugs, plunge ejector, Socko style extractor. Has toolless firing pin removal. Something to take note of there. Runs pretty smooth in the receiver. It has a little bit of a zipper sound and isn't quite as smooth as, say, a Bergara. Has the 3-position safety. All the way to the rear locks the bolt in place, keeps it from firing. 1 forward, you can remove the bolt, but you can't fire. All the way forward, you can manipulate the bolt and fire. Comes with an aluminum bedding block in this stock, and in most cases, it comes with a little spot bedding kit for the front lug. And it has 2 screws that cinch up against that front recoil lug. So excellent bedding system, probably my favorite of all time in this rifle. Has a 1-piece receiver with the integral recoil lug that's really beefy. And they feature a cold hammer forged barrel that's 24 inches long, threaded 1/2 by 28 though, so you have to get a thread adapter for most muzzle brakes or suppressors. The barrel is free floated. The fore-end on this feels pretty traditional to a hunting stock. Nothing overly fat or bulky. It's relatively rounded and has a front sling swivel stud. The weight on this rifle is always really difficult for me to find it, and I used to know it because I weighed this rifle, but I forgot the weight. I want to say it comes in about 7.8, 7.98 pounds, right around there. So they're actually very similar in weight. The Bergara Wilderness Ridge comes in at a weight of 7.9 pounds in 300 PRC. These are both available in short and long action variants. Now let's take a look at the stock, first of all, of the Bergara Wilderness Ridge. We have a fiber reinforced polymer, about a 1-inch rubber recoil pad, sling swivel stud, relatively traditional in style, similar to the HS Precision. Textured grip here, less of a palm swell though than the HS Precision. And then you have this like soft rubber touch stock, so it's kind of grippy, feels rubbery. Pillar bedding, no glass bedding, no aluminum bedding block though. And then it does free float the barrel. Similar fore-end feel on this, and then it has a front sling swivel stud. Much cheaper stock on this rifle. Basically a flimsy piece of plastic compared to the Howa HS Precision stock, but still does get the job done. It does come with a floor plate as well, same round capacity, and it is metal trigger guard, metal floor plate. Now let's take a look at the Bergara Wilderness Ridge receiver. 90-degree bolt throw as well, tactical bolt knob. Nicer bolt release on the Bergara, and nice big tactical bolt knob. Has a cocked indicator at the rear, polished bolt body, 2 locking lugs, plunge ejector, and a nice little claw mini extractor. This rifle runs way smoother in the receiver as far as running the bolt. Really smooth like glass compared to the Howa. No zipper sound or anything like that. Maybe just a hint more sloppiness, but very comparable, but much smoother in that regard. 2-position safety. When locked on safe, it does not lock the bolt in place. That's something I prefer, is when it locks the bolt and bolt handle in place on safe. Cerakoted Remington 700 footprint receiver, recoil lug sandwich between the barrel and the receiver. It does come, like I said, with the pillar bedding, but it's not glass bedded. No aluminum bedding block there. Like the bedding of the Howa better. Free floated when in the factory stock. Comes with a Cerakoted barrel that's 24 inches long, and it is threaded, I believe, on this 5/8 by 24, but either way, it comes with a radial muzzle brake that's Cerakoted as well, so that's quite nice. The Howa does not come with a muzzle brake. All right, now that we've gone over the basic specs of these rifles, let's go ahead and test them out at the range. That's more like it. That's exactly where I was aiming. There we go. Then we're going to move up to 3. Woo! That's accurate. You run it. Oh yeah. All right, folks, now that we're back from the range, let's go over the results from the Bergara B14 Wilderness Ridge. Shot like a dream. Extracted, fed, everything, no problems, no issues. Super smooth, running the receiver, picking up rounds. Very nice, adjustable Bergara trigger, just down to about 2 pounds. Way nicer as far as user adjustability and feel from the hacked 2-stage trigger of the Howa. The only downfall is the stock doesn't feel nearly as nice, and I don't like the bedding as much, but shot easily sub-MOA, extremely accurate. Now let's take a look at the Howa. Fed, extracted, everything great. No real mechanical problems at all. Just doesn't feel as smooth or as refined when you run the receiver, run the action, when you're picking up rounds or whatnot. Trigger still is a great trigger, but definitely has noticeable over travel and is heavier than the Bergara. Stock, on the other hand, much preferred, in my opinion, over the Bergara. Obviously, very capable of sub-MOA as well. Both shot very well. It's impossible for me to say one of these rifles is more inherently accurate than the other, because given the very small sampling of factory ammunition I shot through both, it's impossible for me to tell you, yes, one is out of the box going to be consistently more accurate than the other. You might get one that's more accurate, you might get one that's not as accurate unless you do load development. It really comes down a lot to ammunition and the shooter, and sometimes even the day you shoot. So, both very similar in weight. If you want a stock that is polymer and that has a rubber feel to it, so it's grippy, and you want something that the bolt runs really smooth in the receiver and the trigger is a little bit nicer, get the Bergara. If you want something that has a much better bedding system, much better stock, and you're willing to do some work on the trigger or work on the bolt to make it as smooth and slick as the Bergara, and you don't need it Cerakoted, whereas the Bergara is going to be out of the box more weather resistant as it's got a Cerakoted receiver and barrel, then get the Howa. Personally, I'm willing to work on the Howa HS Precision to make it better than the Bergara Wilderness Ridge, so that doesn't bother me. But if I was a person that just wanted something out of the box that, you know, ran that bolt smooth and the trigger felt great and I didn't care about the higher quality stock, I'd get the Bergara. They're both fantastic hunting rifles and great for long range shooting on the weekends if you're doing nothing too serious. Hope you enjoyed this comparison of the Bergara Wilderness Ridge versus the Howa HS Precision. Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.